Welcome back to Psychopath Marketing. My name is Brandon. I am the resident psychopath, and we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. We are going to create a header template and start the design. So let's go ahead and click on that and start. Alright, and once you get there, you're going to see normal sort of WordPress setup. But what you're going to do is you're always going to want to edit with Oxygen. Unless you're including the inner content into a template, it's not going to actually show up if you just type into the regular area that WordPress provides. So in this case, we're just going to add stuff into the actual template. But before we get started, we're going to manage our colors. We're going to go to Manage, Settings, and you'll find this whenever you open up a template to edit or a page to edit. You'll always see this stuff right here. So what we want to do is go to the Global Styles, Colors, and we want to add a color set. And we're going to just name this one Delaware. That's going to be a set that contains all of our colors for this design. So we're going to add a first color, and we're going to go and grab these colors from the logo. And we're going to go ahead and select the entire thing, including the hashtag, because that's actually a part of it with Oxygen. So we're going to put blue. We're going to add the color right there with the hashtag. I'm going to add another color, yellow. We're going to go and grab that from the logo. And we're going to go ahead and save that right here as well. And now we got our two primary colors for the template. So basically we don't need this anymore. We can go ahead and close that out because now we have it as a part of our template on this design. So we can go ahead and close that out. And now we're ready to start adding stuff. Now when I first add something, I like to add a div. It just contains everything and keeps everything pretty organized. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to size it to 100% so we got no issues. Now the past two videos I apparently was recording in higher than HD, so it wouldn't let me add some end screens to link to these other videos. So I had to modify my screen resolution. So I got everything in the recording this time. Okay, that's set at 100%. You saw that 100%. Make sure you change that to percent instead of pixels. No reason to add any padding, margin, height, or any of that. So what I'd like to do is make the background of this entire header a color. So I'm going to do, click this. Now you got the normal color picker right here, but we added colors in this tool up here under Manage. So now we got these colors that are a part of our design. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to go to Advanced Typography. And I'm going to add a font color that's just standard. It's going to be the yellow that we added. So now anything in this div is going to have a yellow font color unless you change it to say otherwise. And I'm also going to make a default font size. It's going to change it to 20. And I'm going to also change the line height to 1 because I don't want extra spaces. If I have something on top of something else, I don't want a huge space there. So I go ahead and change that. And that should be that for this. There was something I feel like I'm forgetting. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and add a shadow too to my type. So let's go ahead and click Advanced Effects, Text Shadow, and it's going to be just a minor little shadow. It's going to be a horizontal and vertical offset of 1. It'll be set to black. The blur will be set to 5, so it's not very spread out. Let's see. Now I'm going to go ahead and add something so we can see how this looks. I do like to go to Add Columns under Basic. If you didn't see that, it's Basic. It's Columns. It's right there. So we got our columns. Select them. and we're going to select this layout. You can see it tells you what the size is going to be for each column. I like this one. It's 25 to the left. The center is a nice big space, 25 to the right. That's percentage. So that's percentage of your screen there. And I like to do that on all my sites. It depends really. Sometimes I put more divs in there if you want to stack like social media icons on top of contact information or something like that. It really helps out. So let's go ahead and add a header text right here in this first column. Make sure it's clicked on. Where are we at? Heading. Go to text heading. Now you see this is what the text looks like. Now that's not the standard size. I mean, you can't see it until you actually save it to the front end. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Hit on save there. And you go back to the front end, and now you're going to refresh. Because you saved your template with the header. Ooh, we're missing something. What are we missing here? So we're going to go and find out what we messed up. Because this is a header template, and it's not being included in the page. So, oh, that's why. You see this? It's hello world. That means it's a post, not a page. So what we're going to do is go to the settings for WordPress. It's something I usually handle right away, but I was a little distracted. So let's go ahead and get rid of that tagline. And for reading, we're going to change the home page from latest post to a static page. We're going to change the home page to sample page. Now this will update automatically when you change the name of that page and the permalink for it. So let's go ahead and save that. And then we're going to go here after this refreshes, and we're going to refresh the home page, see what it looks like. As you can see, it changed it to what it looks like. This is what's on the standard page here. We're going to edit that in a little bit. But this is the text you added over here. It looks a little ugly, but we're going to edit that and fix it. So let's go back to Oxygen, templates, and we're going to reopen that header and edit. And I apologize if you hear background noise. I actually live right next to a street that's pretty busy. Until I move, I'm just going to have to deal with it. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and edit, double click on that text, make sure it's all highlighted. We're going to put Delaware in big text, home buyers. Now what I can do is, so that this can be sort of similar width with the bottom row here, is we're going to make sure the word Delaware is surrounded there, where it's all selected, and then we're going to put a span around it. So now if you click that and you go and you edit just that, you can go ahead and modify the font size for just that item. So that looks more flush right there, you can see. One thing I do want to make sure is that because I'm very OCD, I want to make sure everything really is center. So that's what it looks like right there. Now what I'd like to do is select this entire heading and link it. It's going to be linked to the home page. Right now that's the sample page. We're going to change that to the home page. But you see I linked it, and now it changed into a ugly little thing blended into the background. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Manage, Settings, Global Styles, Links, and because we have a link wrapper around that, we're going to change that link wrapper color to that. So now anytime you use a link wrapper on your site, it's going to be that yellow. So you're going to have to be careful that you don't use a link wrapper on a white background. It's sort of going to blend in. However, if you do have a if you do change that to have a shadow wherever you're putting it, you shouldn't have a problem. But it's still going to be a little ugly. But that's a solution for now. So if you go back to the home page, Now what do we have? All right, so we've got this and it's linked. So when they click on it, they're going to the home page. You see on the bottom left-hand corner there, when you scroll over it, it says DelawareHouseBuyers.online. So that's where they're going to go if you click on it. Now, if you didn't do that and you added a link, but didn't actually, link it to the home page, it would just blank out. It would just send you to a blank page. So you want to make sure that's taken care of. Okay, now what I'd like to do in the middle, let's go ahead and just add, go to add text. It's already set to 20. You know what, let's get this back over here, and we're going to go ahead and center that as well, and we're going to do a vertical alignment so you see how it's centered right across, right down the middle. And we're going to do that over here as well. We're going to just, because I've done this before and I got done and closed everything up and found out everything wasn't centered, and I had to open up everything because I'm very OCD about this stuff. So it's really annoying. But I like to do a tagline right here. For instance, we could put, "We buy any house fast for cash." All right. And what I can also do is, while I'm in that text, I can go ahead and modify it. We'll change it to that. We can also increase the size. Now what you see in this preview isn't necessarily what you're going to see up front, even though it looks like it's smushed in, because you're looking at a condensed screen. So if we go and refresh it after saving, you're going to end up seeing, oh yeah, we do have a little bit of smush. Well, what I can do is I can either decrease the font size and get everything in that one line, or, and you can get away with it because you got 2 lines on the logo area, is you can actually increase the size of that, and you can just do that. And you can even go ahead and select a word and you can underline it. Bam. So give it a little emphasis. So we're going to see what that looks like. Okay, a little bit much. So let's go ahead and reduce the text just a little bit more. Let's go 46. See if that gets it. See, sometimes you're just going to have to play with it. Save it, refresh, save it, refresh, till you get exactly what you want. And yeah, this is what I want for this screen resolution. It's just standard 16 by 9. Now, see, the good thing about Oxygen is it's very fluid. So you can go ahead and reduce the browser. And if you were to, change the size of the browser, it'll modify it. So it just moves with your browser. So you can see I got some meme action there on my desktop. All right, so let's move on to the next thing here. Now on the right side, I'm going to have within this div right here when you click there. So I'm going to add a couple extra divs within there. So go ahead and see that there. I'm going to add another one. Oops, I accidentally added all the way in there. See, if you're within a div and you add one, it's going to add it inside. So you can just move it and it'll be just fine. So yep, now we got 2 divs. We're going to click that one. We're going to go and we're going to change it because I want it to fill the section up. I don't want it to stack with unnecessarily. So we're going to change that to 100%, and we're going to change this one to 100%. And you can see they're changing up here, the outlines for them. So let's go ahead and do that. Bam, we got 100% on both of them. So on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add social media icons. So you can go to add, go to helpers, social icons, and you can see it blends sort of in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scroll down to the icon color, and I'm going to make it the same as the text, and you got it right there. All right, so I want to also If you notice, that's not quite the full size. I just like to cover my bases. Just go to your layout for the social icons and scroll down to align self in the flex box, child controls, and hit center, and bam, it's right there in the center. And I'm going to click on the one underneath it, the div there. I'm going to add more text. Oops, I'm going to go back to basics, text, and we're going to keep the default stuff because I already set that in the main div. And I'm going to change this to call us, and then just put a placeholder. And you got a phone number there. And I'm going to go ahead and center that as well. Oh, wait a second. Let me select it again. Is it selected? Yep, it's selected. So go to typography. No, not typo. Sorry about that. Go to layout. Scroll down, center it. And now you can see it's a little cramped. I'm going to show you. There's a damn dog outside barking. The neighbors let that wild animal just loose to do whatever. So we're going to click, and you can see how it's a little smushed together there. I don't like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, while we have the text underneath selected, we're going to add size and spacing. We're going to add some padding. You could add padding, or you can add a margin. I'm going to go ahead and add padding to the top of 10 pixels, and save it. And we're going to have this change right there. Bam, you got space. Now if you want, you can actually link this phone number. Sorry for the weird cut. When we come back, I'm going to leave that here. It's a little long in the video. So we're going to come back and we're going to do some modifiers for this stuff up here. And then we're going to add a menu right underneath. And then we're going to start preparing the page with the gravity form, the lead form, and we're going to start adding content to the body as well. So we're going to do that in the next one. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will be back.